Hello, everyone. Welcome to GrabGuidance official YouTube channel. Guys, let me first of all, take a break and sort of welcome everyone here. Just because in these struggling and challenging times, we still want to learn. We still want to learn something. How to sort of be a professional, more professional guy, and learn something on the corporate etiquette by today's guest, Miss Aditi. So before we proceed further, let me just share, who this Grab Guidance is all about, and what we have created, so that you get an idea as to the whole product. So I'll just share my screen and show you what Grab Guidance is all about. Who's the host of this session? So I hope my screen is visible. So guys, this is the homepage of Grab Guidance. This is a platform that we have created to connect the learners and the expert, and that too on a one-on-one basis, right? Where a learner can get in touch with that expert for two major purposes: one for any academic query, and another for any career guidance as well. So if in case you are a sort of MBA student looking for some interview preparation, and wanting to get some career guidance from any expert, you will just put in these two things: your course, your interest area, your requirement, and press the search button, and you will find a lot of people who are listed and onboarded with us, who can really show you the right path and guide you perfectly. So it's any other portal wherein you can search a mentor, a guide, a professor, a teacher for you. You can choose basis your requirement, looking at their profile, right? And figuring out whether they are a perfect match for you or not. And if in case you need some more information, you can get into knowing better by viewing their profile in depthly, right? And if in case you really want to get connected, so there would be a couple of options you could see on the right side of the page, which is 20-minute, 40-minute, and 60-minute. So you can get connected with 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and 60-minute sessions with these industry experts, educators, professors as well. Even if in case you want to have a longer engagement, definitely you can set your own schedule here, right? By selecting the timing and the days you want to meet on a regular basis as well. So this option is also available. And if in case you choose, it's like so seamless. You have to choose a slot. For instance, I am choosing a 12th May slot, morning 11 a.m. And if I choose, I just have to review and confirm and pay, and that's about it. So it's like we are sort of connecting two people, and the connection can also be there for a short term. For instance, you have a query just to get queries for like 4 and 5 questions. Also, you can get in touch with an academic guide. If you have a query wherein you want some 4 or 5 sessions to be taken up by that expert, that's also possible. For instance, you want a whole curriculum to be covered, that's also possible. So this is a very seamless platform wherein you can simply search for an expert, book a session with them, and even enjoy the live meeting with them through a inbuilt conferencing system that we have created. So this is what is all about Grab Guidance, guys. So I'll go back and stop sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Yeah. So Grab Guidance is the host of this complete session. And Grab Guidance has also coined a GG online class as a service to cater to the student community of ours. And we really believe to do something for our student community free of cost. So we on a very frequent basis come always on a YouTube live like today, and touch upon a most relevant and a topic which is very important for student community, or some early stage executives to get hold of it. And that is how today we have this online GG class on corporate etiquette. And I think this is one of the relevant topic for today's world. And even this corporate etiquette have changed a lot after this pandemic, very honestly, because now your bosses probably would be expecting a different kind of a behavior when you're probably on a Zoom call, or having a virtual meeting these days. So I think I'll not spend much time on it, but I'll specifically take out time to introduce our guest. So today we have Dr. Aditi R Khandelwal with us. So I was just going through with her profile, and it really became very difficult for me to select what to say about her, because she has 17 pages kind of a CV, and I was totally amazed to see a person coming here, collaborating with us, and sharing her knowledge and insight, whatever she has today. So but still, I'll do that honor, because she's a all-rounder. That's one definition I could see. I can share with you guys. But she's academician. She's even a co-founder. She has a venture into the a plant boutique, especially, right? So FloraFrenzy, by the name of FloraFrenzy. Otherwise, she's an academician, being into the academic sector for 12 years, and she has taught thousands of students. Now they are totally into the corporate world, and academics, and they are flourishing in their own careers. And she's been associated with a lot of extracurricular activities. She's being I could make out one major thing, that she's very close to theatrical activities, and she has got so many awards and all those things. Plus she has a long list of research papers what she has written. So that's so brilliant, because being a good researcher is somewhere that helps your the academic career. So I'll not spend much time, and I'll just hand it over to Aditi only to take the session forward, and give great insight to our audience today. Please, Aditi.
Yeah. Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you for the amazing introduction that you've given. So, good evening, everybody. And once again, I would like to thank GrabGuidance, Himanshu, and especially Mohit for calling me here. And I'm sure the people who would be attending today's session, they would learn a little about corporate etiquettes, and that's going to take them a long way. So, okay, yeah, Himanshu has told a lot about me. So yes, I am. I studied. Apparently, my father was in a transferable job, so I have studied in almost 16 institutions. Then I did my MBA from ICFI Hyderabad, and then I came back to Jaipur, and I have worked with a number of corporates as such. And but moreover, it was more about my academics. So from last 12 years, I am working with the IRS University in Jaipur. But somehow I felt that there was something more that I wanted to do. So I started my own plant boutique. That was something that I loved doing. Making tray gardens, nurturing my plants and everything. So I started my plant boutique just 2 years back, which is by the name of FloraFrenzy. And here I am from last 2 years. It's been such a ride that rather than meeting people physically, we have been logging into our laptops and learning a lot of things. So otherwise, if it wouldn't have been online, we would have actually sat on the table, and we would have interacted with each other. But yes, now because it is online, so I'm gonna tell you all about the corporate etiquettes, because it matters a lot. Because again, see, corporate etiquette, when you walk in your office, when you go in a meeting, you carry the brand you, and the brand you is made up of all the etiquettes and all the knowledge that you have. So in today's lecture, I am going to cover basically corporate etiquettes, and that's going to cover a lot of things. And for the ease of taking you through the etiquettes, I have divided today's session into 4 parts. So the first would be the everyday mannerisms in the office and when you meet people in an official front. Okay, the second would be the specific meetings when you go on meeting your clients, or maybe some high power meeting the people who you do not meet every day, but they are from your organization. So that would be the second part. The third part would be the official dinner. So that would be something a little more informal. So when you meet your clients and your colleagues, but off work. So still it is connected to your office, but you are not at the office place. The fourth is the thing that Himanshu also talked about. So that is the online office that we are in. So today, it's going to be a lot of things that we are going to cover. And let's start with the first one, so which is everyday mannerisms. So guys, I think since I have already told you that it is the brand you that you carry with yourself every day. So if you have good mannerisms, everybody is going to definitely observe that. So if there is somebody who says thank you and pulls out a chair or something like that, you do like that. So everyday mannerisms are very, very important, and that definitely I would like to start with how you dress up for the office. So when you dress up for your office, it's very important that you know the office culture that you are into. So there are different kinds of offices. Like I am into education, and apparently we have uniform. So I have to abide by that. I have to wear a uniform every day to the university, and plus in the corporates, you do not have to wear a uniform majorly, but then all that you need to put on is an I card. That's all. So, but still, every organization, every office has its own organization culture. So when you join an office, you need to observe people. You need to see. I mean, for the very first day, when you do not know the culture, you do not know how people dress up, then a plain, crisp ironed shirt and a trouser for the males, and for the women, anything is good. Sometimes people do feel that Indian clothes, they are not appropriate for the office culture. Well, I would like to differ with that thought process, because it depends upon the culture that you are into. So still till today, you might have seen a lot of CEOs wearing saris to the office, and that leaves a very, very powerful image for the people who are talking to them, for the people who are there in front of them. So yes, you don't have to see, you don't don't believe that it's only the formal, Western formal, which is the appropriate dressing. It is not. It is what you feel comfortable in, first of all. Secondly, the culture of your office matters a lot. So, whatever people, I would always say go for formal dressing. But then, of course, we know that in a number of offices like maybe Google or some other majorly IT firms, it is not required. But yes, formal dressing definitely gives you an edge. So it makes you feel that you are in your office, and you would like to, your attitude changes. So definitely a nice prim and proper look is definitely good. So corporate mannerism do cover that you are supposed to look nice, appropriate to the office that you are working in. So whenever you go to the office, please make sure that you are in clean clothes. And I think it is necessary to tell all of you that yes, it is important that you wear clean iron clothes every day to the office. I have seen people not doing so, and that absolutely doesn't look good. Secondly, taking care of your appearance. So, men, I am sure half of the people who are listening to me and are males are do have a beard these days. So, guys, it is fine if you have a beard, because in olden times you might have seen your parents or your grandparents shaving every day. But nowadays, guys, the boys, they do not shave. It's a trend that they keep a beard, but then keeping the beard is fine, but then you need to maintain that. Please make sure that when you have a beard, you have to keep it up, keep up the good looks. So whatever you have, no matter how you look, you're tall, you're short, or fat or thin, or whatever, the skinny ones, what you have to take care of is that you look tidy when you walk into your office. And a little bit of perfume is good, but then don't overdo it, because when you put in a lot of perfume, it irritates a lot of people. So about your appearance, you have to again keep your nails clean. A lot of people do not take care of that, but please do that. No chipped nail paints for the girls. Please don't keep that. Rather, don't wear nail paint, but chipped nail paint is an absolute no. So another very important part of your looks is your footwear. So as per again office culture, it is much better that you wear something clean every day, and specifically boys, please do wear shoes, and the formal shoes. So So formal shoes are much better when you go in an office. That's very, very important. And okay, moving on from the appearance part, whenever you go to your office, greet everybody. That's important again, because of course, when you greet everybody and people are happy, you greet everybody, people do see, they notice you. That is again important in an organization, in an office, so that people, at least people should know you. So greet everybody and keep your office desk very clean. Don't keep it very messed up. That is also a part of mannerisms, that you do not keep everything piled up on your book. Keep your office and your desk, your cubicle, very much clean, so that when people come and meet you, it looks clean, people feel like sitting over there. So that is again a very, very important thing. Keep things in a proper manner stacked on your desk. Everyday mannerisms also include that you should not have, when you have tea or you're talking to somebody, please make sure that you keep don't use a lot of slangs in your language, and say thank you to people. Even the people, sometimes we ignore the people who are the office boys and everybody. Please say thank you to them, because they are the ones who carry your name forward. So they also, in your office there is politics and people do talk to each other. So if those people talk to, everybody talks to them, so always say thank you and be gracious to everybody. Okay, everyday mannerisms, again, don't leave your cups and things just lying on your table. Do clean it up every day. Do take care that your office is clean. I've gone to some offices which are not that clean. The tables are not clean. So when I go to their offices and I have to sit there, it absolutely makes me irritated, that why this office is not clean. You're coming here every day and you're sitting on your table, and still you don't keep your table clean. So keep your office clean. If there is, sometimes even you have to take care of that your office staff cleans that. Okay, moving on to the next thing, specific meetings. When you go on some specific meetings and you're meeting your clients, again, clean look is absolute yes. You have to keep a clean look, a little makeup for the girls, and absolute clean appearance for the men is required. Then when you meet somebody for the very first time, apart from the COVID times, you would definitely, in corporate culture, you shake hands with people. So when you shake hands with the people and you're meeting them for the very first time, please, I really want to tell you that in an office space, it doesn't really matter whether you are a male or a female. When you shake hand, and because you're shaking hand, either don't shake hand at all, but if you're shaking hand, your hand grasp, your grasp should be very firm. Do not, a lot of people, I'll show you, they do it like this. So this doesn't show a very good level of confidence that you have. So always have a very firm grasp of the hand. So when you shake hand, you should shake hand like that. So don't leave it hanging over there. So very confidently, if you have put forward your hand for shaking hands, do that nicely, confidently. So that is very, very important. That's the first thing that you do. And always have a smile on your face, not laughter, not laugh, but a smile. So just, greet everybody. And if you are the one hosting the meeting, probably you should be the last one to sit on the table. If it is a round table meeting that you are meeting everybody on, let others sit first and then you can sit. So that's a nice way to, start the meeting. Offer them some water or the tea, coffee, offer them that. And then probably you can introduce yourself. And if there are people from the two parties, like maybe you have two clients and you are mediating between them, introduce both the parties, introduce the people. If you are the one hosting the meeting, you need to introduce people. Okay, now while carrying on the meeting, you also need to make sure that when somebody tries to speak, don't cut them short. Because after all, we're not fighting over there, we're not competing with each other. We are there in a meeting, we are there to discuss. So they give everybody some time to speak, let people finish, and then you can add something to that. Okay, otherwise, if there is certain conversation which is going on and you want to barge into that and you want to add something from your side, you can just say that, I would like to add something. Be polite with the people. Because if you are polite, then only other people would be polite to you. Otherwise, people, the meeting can be a lot hot, which you do not want. You want a nice meeting, a nice discussion. So when you sit with the people, introduce them to each other. If the people do not know each other, you can sit last, make other people comfortable, make them sit, and then you can sit, then you can introduce them to each other, and then you can start with the meeting, the main point that you have to discuss in the meeting. So those things are very, very important. At the end of the meeting, in the starting of the meeting as well, you can give your cards, you can exchange your cards with each other. And again, on that note, I would like to tell you that there is a certain way of handling the visiting cards of the people as well. So when you get a visiting card from somebody, please don't ignore that card. When you take a card in the hand, keep that card in your hand, have a look on that, and if you can find out something which you can talk about, you can say a line or two about that. Otherwise, look at it and then keep it in your pocket and exchange the cards. So you also should, whenever you are meeting some people whom you do not know, whom you do not meet every day, please do keep your cards with you and take it to the office, to take it to the meeting. And when you get somebody's card, you have to take it in your hand, pay some respect to the card as well. So that is a very, very important part of your etiquette. Read it a little and then keep it in your pocket. Another very important thing is, when you meet, go in these kind of offices, and probably you're not the host, and you're just one of the people who have gone into the meeting, and you didn't even talk a lot in the meeting, but you were there as a subordinate, and you were taking down the notes or something like that. You accompanied your superiors. In that kind of a situation, it's very important that after the meeting is over, just give me a minute, guys. Working from home can be a little challenging, so just give me a minute.
Not a problem, Aditi, not a problem. So guys, she'll be just back in a couple of moments. Just an announcement in the meantime, if in case guys you have any queries, doubts, please feel free to put up on the chat box, and after she's done with her presentation, we'll surely take it up, and she'll be answering to each and every questions thereon. And I can see a couple of queries coming in, so keep shooting. We'll be very happy to take it up, and Aditi will be definitely answering each of them. Yeah, so she's back. Aditi, yeah, please take it forward.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I have a pet, and I have a play date of my pet, so that's the whole ruckus behind me. I am really sorry for that, but that brings down. I think I can tell you, I can jump onto the online office these days. Probably over here, I can tell you that one of the most important thing in office working from home is that sometimes things do go bad, but then apologize in the meeting and it is fine. So don't lose your confidence, don't mess around with the whole session or the meeting that you are into. So it is fine, people understand, because everybody is working from home. Okay, so yeah, going back to my topic, that we were in a meeting, we were discussing the meeting. When you meet your clients, or you meet some people who are much above your cadre, and you are meeting them for the very first time, so you have had a meeting, you didn't talk in the meeting a lot, so you did not actually get time to interact with the people, the people up in the ladder. So at that time, after the meeting gets over, generally there is some cool off time, there is some networking time given to you in a lot of informal groups as well, like CII 40, or a lot of other groups like FICI. I'm a member of FICI 40 and all these groups, forums. So when you meet people in these kind of forums, always remember, because in the meeting you were not talking, but still You are listening to everybody. So keep noting down the points that you can discuss after the meeting. Meet the people after the meeting, and just tell them that what you liked a lot about when they spoke about. So then you can discuss for a little bit, you can discuss with the people over there after the meeting. And again, it is a very, very good time to slip your card to them. Now again, like I told you, it's etiquette that when somebody hands over you your card, their card, you need to exchange the cards. So if you give your card to somebody, the other person would also give his or her card to you. So sometimes for the students especially, I am supposing that a lot of students are here, and they are listening to us. So this is a giveaway. This is a tip that I want to share with you, that there might be a lot of conferences and workshops happening in your organization, in your college, in your university. When you attend that, and after that, in the time in between, at the time of tea or at the time of lunch, maybe, if you see that the spokesperson or the person, the keynote speaker, or some speaker who is free, you may approach them politely, you can wish them, you can also discuss the points that you liked about them. Okay, whatever they have done during the workshop or during the conference, you can write it down, jot it down in your notebook, and then later on you can talk to them. And then you can give them your card. It's super cheap these days. You can get your cards made at 300-400 rupees for like 200 cards on Vista print. So you can go and get those cards printed, and you can even print your cards at home if you have a laser printer. So keep those cards with you. So if you are giving the other person your card, the other person will also give you your card, and that can be very good, because nowadays you can definitely talk to these people on Instagram. It's again very, very important. You should have a very good Instagram profile, your LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn profile matters a lot. It does get you a lot of jobs. For the students out there, please make a nice LinkedIn profile, and also connect to all these people whom you meet in any of the physical session. If you have a physical session wherein a conference, a lecture, or symposium was there, and you met and liked somebody, you can message them on LinkedIn, and then you can also mention that you have attended one of the session and you really liked when he talked about so and so things. So that ways networking is very, very important in corporates. So whenever you go to any such meetings, or you in your university, you get to listen to some conference, some symposium, or anything like that, please do send. If you like somebody, if you want to follow somebody, or maybe in future you think that you can collaborate with these people, you should always send them a request on their LinkedIn profile, and make your LinkedIn profile strong, because many a times when you send somebody a request, they do like to see as to who are your friends, who are your what are your connections. So it is very, very important that you do that, because after all, many a times people do not feel that they feel networking as a waste of time. But over a period of 12 years, I have realized that networking can actually take you a long way. Networking makes you connected with the people, and in these tough times, it has worked even more, because whenever you want anybody now, you cannot meet anybody. But for few people, like for me, the sky is the limit. I also organize a lot of lectures, a lot of workshops, a lot of things. Earlier, I was bound by the financials that my university had or I had. But today, the financials are no problem at all. Only thing that I need is a good connection, both the connections, right? Internet connection as well as the connection that I've made with the people. If I have that connection, I can just ask them that no flying, no, you don't require any travel now. You don't need any boarding, no lodging, nothing. You need not to organize any tea, food, absolutely hassle free. I hope I'm audible. Okay, so
Yes, you are, Aditi. Yes.
networking takes you a long way, and networking is very, very important. You should. Okay, so you need to make sure that whenever you have that time, after a very high power meeting, or maybe when you are in informal groups like Piki, CII, or IWN, or wherever, you take out some time and you talk to them, you slip over your card to them, you offer your card to them, so they will offer their card in return, and you would have their contact information, you would have their emails. So later on you can definitely, and when you go and chit chat a little, you can tell them something. Everybody likes to listen something good about themselves. I'm sure all of you agree to that. So if somebody tells me, if after my session somebody connects with me and somebody tells me that you said that in your session, and somebody repeats that to me, I would really like it. So listen to people very carefully in the meetings. That is again a very good and important tip again. So whenever you are there in a meeting and you are not speaking anything, but do listen to people very carefully, and do not barge into conversation. If two people are having any conversation, don't barge into that. Okay, wait for people to finish and then offer your suggestions. So that would be, and when you say again, handshaking is very, very important when you meet people whom you haven't met. Okay, then we have official dinners. Moving on to the official dinners. So now, probably these days, a lot of parties happen after the office. Sometimes these are the office parties, so people from your office only come, and they generally come with their spouse or somebody plus one. They come to the office parties, and over there, the whole situation or the whole environment is a little not very uptight. So over there, it is appreciated if you do not talk about office work. In the after parties, I call it after party because majorly it is after office. And when you meet away from work, you can definitely go and talk to people. You can politely always be polite and bear a smile on your face, and then you can meet the people, you can speak to them, you can tell them what you feel. So over there in the times after, when you meet them informally, you can talk about their families, you can talk about your family. A little discussion about their work is fine, but not hardcore things. So do not start discussing hardcore things with them in the office setting. So that is again a very, very important thing. Yeah. So when you meet people after a party, it is appreciated if you do not talk a lot about the work. So talk about something else. If again, I will give you another tip in that. So when you work in an office, obviously all the people who work in that office, they specialize into their works. So majorly everybody who has those kind of skills. So rather, when you work in an office, so you should have certain skill which other people do not have. That also takes you a long way. So if you know guitar or something like that, and there is a party somewhere, and somebody tells you, maybe you can tell your friend to request you to play guitar, a song on guitar something. So if you do that, that also catches the eye of your superiors. After all, in the organization, it is a game of perception as well, what people think about you. So you should always keep a very positive image in the office. Never turn down people if they ask for any kind of help, or if people ask you if you can help them into something. So it is fine, you can always learn some extra skill, and in those parties you can always show those skills off, so that people do उनको याद रहती हैं ये सब चीजें. So that is always good, that if you acquire some other skill which other people in your office do not have. So in your office again, in the parties, you should always, first most important thing is that do not talk about hardcore work. It is okay to talk about families a little, but not a lot, because obviously you are in the office setup still and you do not know a lot about their families. So rather, a little bit of talking about families is fine, but not hardcore talking. You are there in a light mode, so do not get into one-on-one harsh up conversations. Try and talk to everybody. And again, if you see somebody who is absolutely sitting alone, then you can go and talk to those people. That is again a very, very important thing. And that brings me back to one very important thing, that when somebody, you are already in the office and a new person joins your office, it's a good etiquette to go and say hi to that person, because that person is new to your organization. That person is obviously not that familiar, not that comfortable with the office that the new person has joined. So it is always good and go and greet that person, tell them a little about your office, or a little pleasantries would always be good, and that person would always remember you all through his span wherein he's there in your office working with you, and that thing will always be with him. You know that this is the person that he came and greeted me on the very first day. He was so good to me. So the perception plays its part. So it is always good, if a new person has come to your office, please do talk to that person. In the meetings, in the dinners, again, it's very important that you know how to use your cutlery. You should know where to put your napkin, how to put the napkin on your lap. You should not put your napkin ko you never put over here. You always have to put it on your lap. Know a little how to use your cutlery, because nowadays nobody eats with hands, but certain things are supposed to be consumed with hand. So if there is pizza, you can have it with your hand. Another thing where I feel a lot of people might struggle with finger foods. So when you are in a party and there is finger food basically क्या होता है, जो floating में चलता है. So a waiter comes with certain cheese balls in his plate and he offers it to you. So what you need to do is take a napkin first of all from his tray. Keep one or two, not more than that, no matter how hungry you are. So just take one or two of the things that are there in his plate, keep it in your tissue or the napkin, put some chutneys, or if you want any thing on that, you can put that, and then you can say thank you. Always, the thank you is very, very important. So take that, finish that up at a nice pace, not very fast, not very slow, and then you can wipe your hands with that tissue and then put it on in somewhere. Okay, don't throw it on the floor. A lot of people do that and it is absolutely bad manners. So please do take care of that. Another important thing is, if it is not a party, rather you have gone to somebody's house. Okay, so in formal settings, like it is your colleague, or you have been asked to go in a Diwali dinner or a party hosted by your superior or a colleague, you should always take something with you. It can be flowers, it can be any of the gift baskets, it can be wine, it can be anything. You should have something, a small gift, a token to, you should always take that with you to the person's place, if it is at somebody's house, not in official parties. But yes, if you are being if you go to somebody's house, always take a small token. It can be anything. And when you come back, what we forget to do is mark a message. So when you come back from somebody has hosted a party for you, somebody has called you to their home, you have gone there, you had a very nice time. Even if you did not had a good time, you should always drop a message to them. So once you leave, you are sitting in your car, please do drop a message to them that thank you for hosting us. We had a very nice time. Hope to see you soon. Something like that. A nice message always matters a lot. So that also has become a corporate etiquette, that whenever you go to a party or somebody's house for a house party, you have to send a message to them thanking them for hosting you. Okay, very quickly, going on to the last thing that I have on my list today, that is online meeting, online office. Like today, we have an offline online meeting. So whenever you have an online meeting, please make sure that you are in a comfortable chair. You have a table and you have a comfortable chair, because if you go on moving in a meeting, that doesn't show a very good thing. So always be in a comfortable chair. Again, dressing matters a lot. So no matter whether you are working from home or you are in office, but if it is an official meeting, you have to have your official attire. At least now you only have to work on half of you. Only your torso is visible, your face is visible. So please make sure that even when you have just gotten up from a nap or something, look yourself into the mirror and do see that you look fine for a meeting. Also, if it is possible, lock the door so that nobody can barge into your room. But if you have little kids, and sometimes it becomes very testing, and your kids come around you, it is fine. You can politely say, excuse me, just give me 2 minutes and you can be back. Everybody understands, maybe 1.5 years back people would not understand all that, and you had to be absolutely crammed up in a room and tell all your family members that nobody is allowed to come near me or come even outside my room. But now it is fine. Everybody knows that whole day you are sitting at home, you're working from there, and your family. Now, the problem is that nobody understands that there is something called as an office time. So people talk to you every time. I mean, people just call you anytime they feel like. So at that time, you can definitely, if something like that happens, which is unavoidable, it is fine. Keep your calm. You can get back to whatever you were doing, and if anything like that happens, always, and a little conscious, being a little conscious also matters. That whenever you are, if somebody comes in your room and you want to talk, please mute yourself. Those things are definitely important. You have to be extra conscious while doing that. Another important thing is the glass of water. So please don't keep a bottle, rather always keep a glass whenever you are in an online meeting. Keep a glass with you so that you can, when you drink water, it doesn't look awkward. Always have a glass. You can have certain stationery with you, because you might have to note down something during the class, during the meeting. So of course you can do that. If you have to excuse yourself, it is fine. You can excuse yourself. You can say that, excuse me, I will, just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. It is fine. Just be polite to people, so people do understand. They're also human beings. Okay, I think more or less I've covered everything. So to wrap it up, it's the brand you that you carry with you when you have good etiquettes. You have to learn the use of cutlery. Whenever you go to any meeting, any place, your office, every day, you have to see and observe the office culture, the corporate culture. Dress accordingly, no matter whether you are wearing Indian clothes or Western outfit. It has to be clean first of all. It should not be very blingy. Especially people, sometimes girls have this problem, and people, even men, sometimes they wear too loud colors. So no loud colors in office. Wear subtle colors. Footwear should not do tuck 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 tuck. If it is a wooden flooring and you're wearing heels, it is fine. But then आपका जो शू होता है आपके पैर से निकल निकल के नहीं जाना चाहिए. That is another thing. Don't wear a flip flop in an office for males. Is an absolute no. Please don't do that. Chipped nail paint, no. You should keep your hands clean. A firm handshake is definitely very, very important because it shows off your confidence. Do carry your cards. Card etiquette is again very important. Don't put your card. Don't even have it without even having a look at your card. Don't put it in your pocket. Have a little look on the card, and then keep it in your pocket. Carry it. Do talk to people. Do connect with people on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is basically for networking in the official space. So LinkedIn is very, very important again. Okay, I think we have certain questions, Himanshu.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, it was I think amazing, Aditi, that you talked upon almost everything. I think you touched upon every bit of it, which is very necessary. Coming from how to dress to how to behave, how to be on the online meeting, how to be when you are in the outside arena doing a sales meeting, probably sharing cards, handshake. I think you touched upon everything. Even in fact, for that matter, I was enticed to see that how to behave in a corporate party. Because people are not exposed to that. But I think these are certain basics that every young guy probably entering the corporate world should know, because these things really matter, and that creates the personality in person. So I think amazing. Let's
Yeah.
jump on to some questions,
Thank you.
Aditi, because we have 4 5 questions coming in. So what I'll do is I'll for
Okay.
the benefit of everyone, I'll speak also, as well as I'll present it on the screen as well. So there is first question coming from the e-learning cafe. Can we be in shorts while we are on a Zoom call? People have been making fun of this fact, but actually nobody gets to know.
Of course, you can be.
How true. I mean, actually, yeah.
Absolutely, you can be. I mean, obviously, you can be in your shorts. I think I've covered that in my when I spoke about online meetings. So you can wear whatever you feel like underneath your torso because that is what is visible. If you're wearing shorts, no matter, doesn't really matter if your face looks fine. So don't be dizzy. Okay, you might have just sprang out of your bed, but just take few minutes to wash your face, comb your hair, and in your shorts, in your night suit, just tilt your camera like this so that only your face is visible. Okay, so doesn't really
Absolutely.
matter. Another important thing is your background should be clean, shouldn't be cluttered a lot. Yeah, so you can
No.
definitely go into your shorts, no problem at all.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Till the time anyone gets to know, you are free to do everything. And in fact, there were a couple of memes and ads being floated wherein the interview was happening. The guy was totally wearing the tie and suited, booted, but down the line he was wearing shorts. So I think that's fine. Cool,
Absolutely. Yeah.
cool. So let's take up the another one. So the question by Sally Matz, ma'am, what can we do about the ones who keeps compressing you and are very competitive towards you? And there's a follow-up question. So what can we do about the competitive environment? So I'm just putting the first question here.
Okay, so as I told you, offices sometimes can be very, very competitive. In that, जब वही हो जाता है ना साम दाम दंड भेद सब चीजें हमें environment it is fine, but keep on improving your skills. After all, everybody can see what competencies you have. And networking, again, networking with the people is very, very important. Keep your, sometimes we also feel I am doing a good job, I don't need to tell, but then to your superiors you also need to keep telling them in a very subtle manner. You need to tell them that I have worked on this thing. And if there are certain people who are fighting with you, do not get into those kind of things. I would absolutely tell you not to get into those kind of mad fights because it's of no use. Rather concentrate upon skilling yourself and working more appropriately, better. Nurture your work and skills. That would competition can happen from the very first day. So when you enter your office, learn, always observe in the office as to what is happening, what people are doing. So then only you can get a hang of the organizational culture, and you will have to, it will only come with the experience how to deal with such kind of competition. One thing can definitely take you a long way is that you have to have skill set. Keep skilling yourself, keep updating your knowledge. That is one of the most important thing. And when, if you are into a job of sales or something like that, then always go into networking. Make your LinkedIn account, do a background check of the people whosoever you have to meet. If you're going for a job interview, it can be a little tricky, but always keep skilling yourself, keep updating your knowledge. Do take credit if you're feeling that somebody is eating up on your credit. Tell them that no, eating up on your credit.
Aditi, you
This
can
was
switch off
done
your
by me. Some people go,
Aditi, you can
absolutely, अगर आपके पीछे ही पड़ जाता है कोई जरा बहुत ज्यादा competition कर रहा है, so rather than getting tensed about it, the competition that is there, skill yourself.
Aditi, what I can request you is you can
Am I
switch off the
audible? Am I
camera
there?
also. Aditi, you can switch off your camera, probably because your
Is
voice
it my
would be much
network? Can
clearer then.
anybody tell me?
Yeah, Aditi, can you hear me, Aditi? Uh, I think because of some network issue, uh, she has left. Probably she'll come back. So let me take it forward. I have couple of pointers here as well. If you couldn't get the answer, Sally. So if somebody is sort of compressing you, is very competitive towards you, what my take would be at that point in time is you be good to everyone, even for that matter anyone who's not even good to you. You should be good to them as well. That's how there is a saying also in Hindi that अच्छाई ही बुराई को मारती है, right? So I think there is no point. I think Aditi was also making a similar point that there is no point getting into getting into the low level of fightings, and getting into the that level, looping to the level wherein you are dissatisfied, you're not interested to go to your office and all those things. It's better on first sight you should avoid that competition. And if in case you are suppose working together also for that matter, you can still have a try to be good to them possibly. And if you are good to them, automatically probably after some time definitely things will probably fall in its place and things might be better. So that is what I have to add on to it. And I think Aditi is back. So Aditi, what I can suggest you here is you can probably
Yes.
shut down your camera. Your camera, if it is off, the bandwidth will
Yeah.
be
Okay.
better, and possibly people will be able to hear it better. So while you were off, so I was just adding on to the last question. And now I think if you allow me to, I can move to the third one as well.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm showing the third question here. Ma'am, what if we are talking and someone don't let us speak and want to barge in?
Okay, yeah, that happens a number of times that people do not let you talk. So you can just wait for some time, and still, if they are not letting you in, you can say, "I would like to add to that." So you can quickly say that, not on a very high pitch that, and then you can start with that. So the other person
Yeah.
would also, understand that you want to talk. So the easiest way and the safest way is, I would like to add to that. That small statement would give you some space to, add something from your side.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think I agree with you, Aditi.
So
Honestly,
can you,
just
yeah,
breathe.
yeah.
Yeah, just breathe. What happens is, whenever someone is, speaking, in a meeting, there is, naturally there is a pause. Nobody can speak like, continuously. There will definitely be a full stop in a sentence coming in, and you will get a chance. And like Aditi suggested, you can simply barge in by saying, "I have something to add." And I think there naturally you can have your space being made yourself in the meeting. So Aditi, shall we move to the next one?
Yes,
All right, all right. So the
absolutely.
next question is by Miss Madhvi. She's asking, what do we do if we disagree with colleague and the boss in a meeting? They are not ready to listen to you. Yeah, Aditi, you there? I think there are certain connection problem from her side. So let me just give her a last call. Aditi, you there? All right. So by the time she rejoins, probably, let me take it up this question. So the question is, what do we do if we disagree with the colleague and the boss in a meeting? They are not ready to listen to you. All right. So first of all, whenever we are in a group, or we are in a meeting, so a meeting also represents a group of people only. And definitely when there are more than two people, there is a situation wherein there would be disagreement naturally also, right? And especially if you have a rude boss or a colleague who doesn't like you, definitely they will raise a unnecessary disagreement also, right? So in that kind of a meeting, you have to be quite subtle, right? You again, if they're not listening to you, you have to make your possibly your own entrance to that path, wherein you can sort of getting and pitching into the discussion by naturally the pause is there, like I mentioned in the previous answer, while answering the previous question, there is a natural pause. So make your way there, right? I want to add to something, and you have to be very polite. By polite, I mean, let me give you an example here. So if in case somebody says that I don't agree to you, but how do you have to respond to that? You should always respond, sir, ma'am, you may have your point, but possibly you can prove it with any fact. You can challenge in a very polite manner, and if in case you have any fact to counter, so you can definitely say, according to the research happened in 2016, this is how it happened. So the disagreement, if in case there is a fact to it, a backup proof to it, definitely you can make a stronger point. And if in case you disagree, you have to be very polite by stating, although you have your own viewpoint, your own opinion, but I beg to differ, and this is what I believe in. So there is always a very subtle way to tackle that kind of a situation, because it can really lead to a very stressful situation in a meeting room probably. So my crux to it is, before we take up Aditi's viewpoint on this, so my crux is, so if in case you disagree, you have to be very polite. You have to probably answer it with some fact or the other, and you have to don't disagree in bluntly. You probably can present your viewpoint on that, if in case the situation is like that. So
Yes,
let
absolutely. And, on that note, I would like to reiterate that it is very, very important that you have your work done. So, if you have the knowledge and you know the work, then you can definitely put a strong point. And otherwise, if you have not worked upon something, then you cannot, be very confident about it. So, always nothing can beat the work that you have put in. So when you
absolutely.
know what the work is, and which is of course very very important that you have worked on that thing, you can politely say that. And if the polite doesn't work,
I think there is a lot of issues possibly. So I think we have two more questions. We can move it up and taking up the next question. And if in case I would be able to answer that, I'll be very happy and taking those questions. So we have another question from Nitin. So the question is, generally favoritism happens in corporate. Absolutely. How to handle if your seniors are biased? uh right, I think this is one of the real life problem that usually happens. First of all, if in case you are facing this kind of a favoritism, you're being a victim of that favoritism, let me put it this way. Obviously, possibly what you can do is you have to break that whole system of this favoritism by your performance. Very honestly, if you are performing well, right? You have a point to say that I gave 200x growth to my sales target. I have hired 50 people being an HR manager. So your performance, your output will speak for itself. Favoritism at times cannot work also, although a manager may like a guy, but if in case he's not performing and you are tremendously onto your job, performing, giving a tremendous output, favoritism seriously can't work there, because at the end the manager also has to answer why he's choosing A, who's a non-performer, vis-a-vis B, which is you, who's a tremendous performer, right? So in that case, favoritism definitely is a a problem area. It do happens, I agree with Nitin, but the only situation by which you can tackle is by performing well and showing it to your senior and the management that you are really a asset to the organization. And I think then you will not leave any scope for biasness at all. Nobody can be biased in that case. So I hope I answered Nitin's question. So Uh, the last question I could see is of Jaspreet again. Uh, it is, ma'am, if we say so, doesn't the gives us impression as a bit rude? Okay. Oh, I think so. Jaspreet had a query, wherein he was asking, how we can, bar, somebody, if we want to barge and somebody don't let us speak, so we have to make our way. Very honestly, if in case, you are in a meeting, so, definitely other people will also get to know that somebody is not letting you in and speak, right? So that is a more rude thing that people will already observe. And when you are, by, a bit of a, raising your pitch, trying to make a way for you, definitely will not be taken other way, otherwise, honestly, because, because already people are matured enough in the meeting room. They do understand that these guys are not letting you in, letting you speak. And if in case, you are making through, making your way by, taking that chance where there is a natural pause coming and raising a, pitch, slightly, I think that will never be taken otherwise, very honestly. So that's how, things usually happen. So uh, best of luck, best of luck to you, Jaspreet. I hope you will not face these kind of problem. So anyhow, because of this internet connection, we couldn't, officially, thank Aditi. But definitely after the, we stop this session, we end this session. I'm seriously gonna give her a call and, thank her, because almost, I think she was almost done with it, just, barring last two questions, which still I hopefully answered and did justice to it. So, but still, thank you so much, Aditi, if in case you watch this video, because this video gonna be there on, YouTube, our official channel. And we always put this video also on our knowledge center, section of our website, grabguidance.com. So guys, if in case you missed it, possibly you can, always go to our YouTube channel or our knowledge center page on the website to watch the session again. And again, thanking you, the audience, because again, things are probably not right outside, but still we took a plunge to, possibly get more learning. And although today it's so convenient that at our home only we are able to meet, experts like Aditi. And just to add to it, Aditi is also onboarded with us on our Grab Guidance portal. So if in case any one of you really want to get connected with her, or for that matter, any of our expert, do log into www.grabguidance.com. And last but not the least, please stay safe and have a nice evening. Thank you so much, guys.